Foundation is the base to any flawless makeup look. Crappy foundation equals a crappy makeup look. Finding the right foundation can be overwhelming, but I'm going to share some steps to help you feel a little more confident with choosing and applying the right foundation. Stay tuned.
One, I'm kind of combining two things in there, and that is to make sure that your face is clean and to make sure that you prime your face. I've already got a video on my skincare routine. I also have a video all about primers, so I will link both of those videos up above so that you can check those videos out. So step number 2 is, of course, knowing all about your skin tone. If your skin tone is warm, is it neutral, is it cool? And there are several ways that you can find this out. The most common way is to look at your wrist and look at your veins. If you have green veins or they look like they're kind of greenish in color, then you can say that you have a warm undertone. If it is blue or purple, then you can say that you have a cool undertone. And if it's not really one or the other, then you can say that it is neutral. Step number 3, of course, is that you have to go ahead and choose what type of foundations that you are going to use. Now, I'm going to share with you all the types of foundation that I have right now, and then I'm just going to talk about the foundations that I've never used, but they are out there. The first type of foundation I'm going to share with you all is a liquid foundation. Now, I consider the Tarte Hydro Flex to be a liquid foundation because I have to mix it anytime I want to use it, and you're able to see that when I actually squeeze this onto my finger, it is definitely liquidy, and this is how it looks on my finger. The foundation is literally running down my finger, which is definitely a liquid consistency. Now, what is great about a liquid foundation is that it's going to give you a lot of coverage very easy. You're able to easily apply it all over your skin. You're able to get and conceal and cover any type of blemishes on your face with just not having to use a lot. It is also going to give you moisture and hydration, where you're not going to have to add a primer or a moisturizer to a liquid foundation. You pretty much can use the liquid foundation on its own, and it's going to give you that flawless foundation look by itself. The second type of foundation that I own is a BB cream, and a BB cream stands for Beauty Balm or Blemish Balm. And a BB cream is definitely a light coverage foundation. So if you have or want to have a very full coverage or medium coverage, then the BB cream is not a product that you want to use. What is great about BB cream is that it is great for the summertime when you don't want to wear a lot of makeup, or you want to do a no makeup look, and you want to have a foundation look that really looks as close to your skin as it can be. A BB cream is definitely a foundation product to kind of gravitate to. The one thing about this particular BB cream that I'm using from Bobbi Brown is that it can be very drying to the skin. So most of the time I do mix it with a moisturizer, or I use one of these other types of foundations to give me that moisturizing component to the foundation. But there are BB creams that's going to give you the moisture, that's going to give you the hydration, and your skin is not going to be dry when you're using the products. Now, other foundations that I do not have, so the only foundations that I really have are liquid foundations and a BB cream. But the other foundations that you can purchase are the cream foundations, and the cream foundations, of course, are foundations that's going to be similar to a moisturizer. And what's great about a cream foundation, and this is just from me reading a little bit about cream foundations, is that of course they're going to give you the moisture, they're going to give you the hydration for your skin. They're also going to give you a very natural looking dewy type of glowy skin to your foundation look as well, and they do work great when you pair them up with a great moisturizer or a primer. You also have foundation powders that go onto your face like a powder, but it resembles a foundation. And what I read about this is it's very great for when you are traveling or compact because they're not messy. You can carry it in your purse. but there are some foundation powders that come in loose powder form, and of course those types of foundations are going to be a lot messier and not something that you really want to use outside of the home. If you're traveling somewhere, or you just kind of have it in your purse. The other type of foundation product, of course, is the CC creams, which are the corrector creams that are for correcting your face of any blemishes. I've used a CC cream in the past, was not very impressed with that, so I do not use a CC cream at all now. But I do hear that a lot of people do use CC creams. They do like them, and of course that is another type of foundation product that you can try. So those are the main types of foundations. Oh yeah, and I'm also forgetting about the foundation sticks. There are foundation sticks similar to the concealer stick that I got from Fenty Beauty, and I've never used a foundation stick before, but reading about foundation sticks, they are definitely great for if you are going out you know, to dinner or going out somewhere and you need to do a correct you know, put some foundation on real quick. Then this foundation stick, of course, is going to allow you to do that easier with not a lot of mess. You're still going to get the coverage that you need. You're able to actually place that foundation exactly where you want the coverage to be as well, and it gives you all the coverage that you need, and it's not as messy as the liquid foundations or the cream foundations. And so yes, those are all the types of foundations that you can kind of look into. Which one do you feel like is the best for what you are needing? Step number 4 is deciding what kind of coverage do you need. Do you need a light coverage? Do you need a full coverage? Do you need a medium coverage? A light coverage is usually for skin types where you don't have a lot of blemishes, you don't have any type of skin problems, you want makeup just to kind of even out your skin tone a little bit, and you just want a little touch of color. And then of course you have a medium coverage foundation that is going to cover your face a lot more thicker than a light coverage. And of course a medium foundation coverage is going to cover pretty much a lot of those problem areas. If you have any type of blemishes on your face that you want to cover, a medium coverage foundation is going to do that. And of course an all-out full coverage foundation is going to cover your face completely, and it's going to be able to cover up any type of major skin problems that you might have, and you're still going to be able to get a flawless foundation look. So you need to determine what are you going to be using this foundation for. Are you going to be lightly covering it, medium covering it, or full covering it? And that is also going to determine what kind of foundation that you're going to use. Now, what's great about foundation is that they do kind of tell you what kind of coverage that you're going to get. Most of the time the products on there will tell you if it's full coverage, if it's light coverage, if it's medium coverage. Now if it's a BB cream, it is all the time a light coverage. If it's a tinted moisturizer, and I totally forgot to talk about that with the types of foundations, but if it's a tinted moisturizer is also not going to give you a lot of coverage, and neither is the CC creams. Now when you start going into liquid foundations and cream foundations and foundation sticks and those types of heavier types of foundation products, then you're going to then go in a little bit more into getting a little bit more coverage. Now with a BB cream or with any type of foundation that is light coverage, you are able to build on the foundation and layer it on to give you a medium or full coverage, but that could obviously can sometimes be a problem, because then you're going to have too much product on your face, which could lead to a cakey foundation look. So you have to be careful with that. So you just definitely need to look at the product, read it, and decide what kind of coverage that you need, and you can go from there. And step number 5 is picking the right shade. What kind of shade of foundation do you need on your face? If you are new to foundation, have no idea how to choose it, where to start from, even after you have determined what your skin type is, your undertone and all that stuff, then I would suggest going to Sephora or Ulta or any type of department store where you can actually ask them to choose a foundation for you and actually try one at the store. And that's the best thing for you to do, because then that way you're able to see what works and what does not work. It doesn't mean that you have to purchase from the store, but at least it gives you a starting point. And so that is the first thing that you need to do, is choosing the right foundation color for your skin. Because if you do not choose the right foundation color, of course that is going to then create a mess for the rest of your makeup look. So now I'm just going to show you all the differences in the kind of foundation shades that I have in my makeup collection, and then I'm going to show you how mixing colors can sometimes give you that perfect shade. You need to make sure that you understand that you might not get a foundation that is the perfect color. What you want is a foundation that's going to enhance your color, enhance your skin tone, enhance everything. Your makeup look is what you're looking for. So that's the type of foundation that you want to purchase. So the first thing that they're going to do, or that you're going to do when you are trying it out, is that you are going to want to put it right here onto your cheek, because that's going to be sort of like, almost like where it would be your true color. All right, so that is this color right here that I have on my face right now, is the Mary Kay Time Wise Mattifying Matte 3D Foundation. All right, this is the Beauty Bakery, and I'm going to place that right beside it. And I'm doing this in the camera, so you know. All right, there's that color. And now I'm going with the BB cream. So this is the Bobbi Brown BB cream. And then I'm going in with the Tarte. And I'm going to try to put this back here, because I actually I haven't used this on video, but this is my daughter's, what I used for her when I used to do her makeup when she was here and went to dances. I'm just going to show you how this color looks, because her skin tone is a little different than mine. And I'm just going to put it on this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of see what we're talking about. So this is the MAC, and you can already tell the MAC is definitely darker than my skin tone. So this is not going to be a foundation that I will want to purchase, because it is going to, of course, make me look darker than I am, and it's not going to match well. It's definitely going to look a little weird against my neck, because of course those are definitely two different colors going on here. So of course, you know, this is not something I'm going to walk out of Ulta with. All right, so these are the ones that I use on a regular basis. This right here is the BB cream, and you can tell that the BB cream is a little darker. This back here is the Hydro Tarte, and you can see that it's already almost matching my skin completely. This one was the Mary Kay right here, and then this was the Beauty Bakery. So you're able to kind of see the differences. They are definitely different tones, and they're going to give me all a different look. Now the BB cream, when I apply it by itself, actually is a perfect match when I leave it, but all the rest of them kind of leave my skin a little different, so I have to kind of mix and match them together. So let me show you what it looks like when you mix and match these colors together, because sometimes you get a foundation and they don't match well, so you might have to start mixing them together. So the perfect mix for me, when I really want to have a perfect match, is the BB cream, and I'm getting the wrong one. It's the BB cream and the Beauty Bakery. That is the perfect match if I want to have the perfect kind of match. Okay, so you can see that if I let it sit, You see that? It's like literally like going into my skin. It is a perfect, almost a perfect match. It gives me that dewy, glowy look. Okay, so sometimes you might have to mix colors up in order for you to get that perfect shade that you want. But once you find the shade that you are looking for, then there you go. You've got that shade, and you're able to then move on and start applying that makeup. So you definitely need to know your skin tone, definitely need to know your skin type, and you definitely need to be able to look at those colors on your cheek and see how well they are matching. And then that is how you're going to, of course, get that perfect shade of foundation. So the next step is applying the foundation, and there's 3 different main ways to apply foundation. I'm actually going to show you those 3 different ways so that you can see for yourself the different types of looks that come with the different types of techniques for applying the foundation. So the first technique I'm going to use is applying the foundation with my fingers, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the foundation onto my finger like so. I'm going to rub it together, my 2 index fingers, and then I'm going to place it in all over my face, making sure to concentrate in this particular area, because most of the time this is where your problem areas are, and this is where you want most of your products to go. So that's where I'm going to be placing it. And then after that, I'm just going to go in with my fingers, and I'm being very gentle, and I'm patting and smoothing, patting and smoothing, because you still want to have some coverage. You don't want that foundation to not give you the coverage that you need. So that's what the patting is for. Just gonna pat that right on. Make sure to get onto your neck area. And I'm doing this in the camera, so I'm just making sure that I don't have any areas that have not been blended in really good. All right, so this is what it looks like when I use my fingers to apply the foundation. It looks like a second skin, and you definitely get a smoother look, a warmer look when you use your fingers, and it's going to give you very light coverage. The next technique is using a foundation brush, which is what I most of the time use when I apply my makeup, and I'm going to do the same thing that I just did, but I'm going to use a brush. So I'm going to take the BB cream, and I'm going to place the color all over those areas, and then I'm going to take the beauty blender, the beauty bakery, and I'm going to apply that in those same areas. And when you're using a foundation brush, what you don't want to do when you are adding foundation is that you don't want to put it directly on the brush, because what's going to happen is the foundation is going, especially if it's liquid, it's going to go right on down the brush, and it's not going to give you a very even type of foundation look. So don't do that. So after you have applied it all to those areas, then of course you're just going to take that brush, and I like to pat because it gives me more coverage to my face when I do a patting motion. And of course with the brush you can just drag that color down to your neck area. Alright, so this is with the foundation brush, and what I like with the foundation brush is that I don't get my hands dirty, which of course is not a good thing if I'm getting ready for work and I accidentally touch myself and get my clothes dirty. This just prevents that from happening. I'm able to actually kind of spread that color just a little more, and you're actually able to do a lot more layering with the foundation brush that you're not able to really do with your fingers. So this is the makeup, the foundation with the foundation brush. And the last technique is to use a beauty blender. And to use that, the first thing that you need to do is you can either spray the actual beauty blender, or you can spray your face. So I'm actually going to spray my face first with a setting spray, and then I'm going to add my products to my face. And the reason why you spray either the sponge or your face is just that it makes it easier for you to actually, you know, get it into your skin. So you can do one or the other. And it just makes it easier to apply it. When you try to do that on dry skin, it's just difficult for the blending sponge to really do the work. Just trying to get close to the camera because I don't have my mirror. So I'm just making sure that I get all of it blended in like it's supposed to. All right, and this is the look after using the blending, the beauty blender. And what I don't really use the beauty blender that often. I actually don't use it at all. I only used it really for this particular video. And the reason why I don't like to use a beauty blender, because it takes a long time to me to really get it in there and to get it blended right. And yeah, I just don't have time for that. I want something to be quick and in a hurry. And now I'm going to show all three with the foundation using my fingers, using the foundation brush, and using the beauty blender. And of course you can kind of tell if there's a difference or not. I don't really see that big of a difference. It just all depends on your preference. What do you want to use? What technique does you want to use to apply your foundation with? Any of these techniques will work, so you don't have to feel like that you have to actually use one more than the other, or not use one at all. Whichever one that you feel the most comfortable with is the technique that you need to go ahead and gravitate to and go ahead and use for your foundation and for your makeup looks. The last step really for a foundation is to make sure that you add your powder to it. Now, the first time when I started wearing makeup, I did not know that I was supposed to add powder to my foundation, and I was walking around looking a greasy mess. So if you do not have a great powder, then your foundation is not going to last a very long time. It's going to be runny, it's going to look oily, and it's just going to look, it's not going to look very good. So make sure that you have a good face powder to set your foundation and keep it in place and keep it there all day long. So of course you all know what I'm using, and that is the MAC powder, and of course my face brush, and you just take that powder and place it all over on top of that foundation. Now of course, before you apply the face powder, if you want to go ahead and add a contour or a concealer, then that would be the time to do that. If you would like for me to make a makeup video where I'm showing like step by step of how to do your makeup, then let me know at the bottom. I've already been requested about the how to keep the lips from feathering, so that would be my next makeup 101 video that I would do for you guys. So again, if you want me to add something to this makeup basics videos, then let me know, and I would definitely add that to the already existing list that I'm going to be sharing with you all for makeup basics. All right, so after that, your makeup, your foundation is in place, and you can go ahead and add your blush or your highlighter, all the other kind of stuff that goes along with that, and then you are out the door. So that is it, you all the steps needed to get a very flawless foundation look. And if you do these steps, your foundation will look flawless every single time. That's all that you need for all of the for you to get a flawless foundation. All right, you all, I am Michelle Mazelleghs. Thank you all for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.